This is the lecture on epithelia. This lecture is based on Martini's chapter 3. Here are the learning objectives for epithelia, epithelial glands, and membranes. Here is the drawing assignment on epithelia, and here is the drawing assignment on the location of selected epithelia. Okay, epithelia. Epithelia are formed of sheets of epithelial cells on a basement membrane. Epithelia often include epithelial glands. Epithelia is the plural form of epithelium, and I will try to keep the two words straight throughout the lecture. Okay, so epithelia cover the outside of the body and line many parts of the inside of the body. They line the tracts that are open to the environment. These tracts are the respiratory tract, digestive tract, urinary tract, and reproductive tracts. Epithelia also line spaces that are not open to the environment. They line blood vessels and the heart, lymph vessels, and body cavities. Epithelia have 6 important structural characteristics. They are formed of sheets of cells. They have strong intercellular connections. They exhibit polarity. They have attachment to a basement membrane. They are avascular, and they are capable of regeneration. So first of all, epithelia are basically sheets of cells. They can be one or more layer of cells thick, and epithelia are composed almost entirely of cells. Epithelia have intercellular connections that bind the epithelial cells together tightly. The intercellular connections are many and diverse. Epithelial cells may have protrusions of cell membrane that interlock with adjacent cell membranes. And then there are many other types of intercellular connections. An important intercellular connection is a gap junction, which is a protein structure that has an open passageway in the middle. Gap junctions have already been seen in bone, and they will be seen in cardiac muscle and smooth muscle, where they are extremely important in coordinating contraction. And you can take a look at all of the different types of intercellular connections, but please pay a special attention to gap junctions. Okay, other intercellular connections are proteoglycans that act as cement between cells, and cell adhesion molecules, which are a type of transmembrane protein that bind to extracellular molecules and also bind to adjacent cells, binding cells together. Epithelial cells have polarity, which means they have a distinct top or apical surface and a bottom or basal surface. The apical surface faces the external environment or the lumen of the tract or the organ. The lumen is the open center of the tract or the organ. Epithelia exhibit attachment to a basement membrane, and the basement membrane is then attached to an underlying layer of connective tissue. The basement membrane is composed of a layer of protein fibers and proteoglycans, forming a sort of mat that connects the epithelial cells to the underlying connective tissue. The basement membrane prevents loss of molecules from the connective tissue and the inner parts of our body. And the basement membrane is composed of 2 parts, a basal lamina, which is the more superficial layer of the basement membrane. The basal lamina is made by the epithelial cells, and then underneath the basal lamina, there is the reticular lamina, which is the deeper layer of the basement membrane, and the reticular lamina is made by the connective tissue cells. Epithelia are avascular. They do not have blood vessels. Therefore, epithelia have to receive nutrients by diffusion across their basal surfaces from arteries below them, or they have to receive nutrients by absorption across their apical surfaces. Now, you may have forgotten what exactly the word diffusion means or what exactly the word absorption means, so I've defined those here. Diffusion is the movement of molecules from an area of high concentration of the molecules to an area with a lower concentration of the molecules. Absorption is the process of taking nutrients from the digestive system lumen into the blood. Epithelia are able to perform regeneration, or the replacement of missed or damaged epithelial cells, by stem cells in the basal layer of the epithelium. The stem cells divide into two cells. One cell stays a stem cell, the other cell is a daughter cell that differentiates into the epithelial cell. Stem cells are usually found near the basement membrane. Many epithelial cells on the skin or in open tracts of the body are continually being injured. In the small intestine, for example, the lifespan of an epithelial cell is only around 1 to 2 days. Stem cells must divide and differentiate into mature epithelial cells almost continually to keep pace with the loss of cells. Epithelia are exposed to the environment in many locations, and they are our first line of defense. Therefore, they must be kept intact. So, three things that help keep them intact are their intracellular connections, their attachment to the basement membrane, and to their ability to regenerate. Okay. Epithelia cellular structures are specialized to perform specific functions. These structures have specific locations. Organelles are found in specific locations inside the cell. Structures on the top or the apical surface of the cell differ from the structures on the bottom or the basal surface of the cells. Microvilli are found on the apical surface of many epithelial cells. Microvilli are small protrusions of the cell membrane. Microvilli increase the surface area for absorption and secretion 20 times or more. Now, secretion, in case you've forgotten, is the formation and release of a substance. Microvilli are found on simple columnar epithelia in the small intestines as well as in many other areas. Cilia are found on the apical surface of some epithelial cells, and cilia are complex protein structures that are capable of movement. Cilia move substances over the surface of the cell. Cilia are found in pseudostratified columnar epithelium in the respiratory tract, as well as in other areas of the body. Okay, epithelial functions include 4 major functions. 1, protecting surfaces. 2, releasing secretions. 3, absorbing substances and controlling permeability of the body to substances. And 4, helping to provide sensation. Epithelia protect external and internal surfaces of the body from dehydration and mechanical and chemical stressors and dangerous microorganisms. For example, stratified squamous epithelium contains multiple layers of cells, and it is located in areas of the body where the risk of injury is high. Epithelia release many secretions. Epithelial cells and glands release sweat, saliva, mucus, sebum, and milk. The glands found in epithelium range in size from a single cell to complex structure. Epithelia are involved with the absorption of substances and the control of the permeability of our body to different substances. So epithelium are either the entrance or the barrier to the entrance of every substance that enters and leaves the body. Some epithelium, like that lining the digestive tract, performs selective absorption. For example, the digestive tract selectively absorbs even large molecules like protein. Some epithelia, like the skin, are fairly impermeable to all substances. The ability of epithelia to perform absorption or to act as a barrier to absorption is regulated and can actually be modified. Most epithelia have sensory receptors associated with sensory nerves. The skin has many sensory receptors. Specialized epithelia are found in sensory organs, and these specialized epithelia can detect light, smell, sound, taste, and balance. Epithelia are classified by 2 structures: the number of layers of cells in the epithelia and the shape of the cells in the epithelium. But in particular, the shape of the most superficial layer of the epithelium. Okay, and that's important because sometimes the superficial cells and the deeper cells in an epithelium have different shapes. So epithelium may be simple or stratified. Simple epithelium have one layer of cells. Stratified epithelium have more than one layer of cells, so 2 and beyond. Superficial epithelial cells may have 3 different shapes. They may be flat or squamous, cuboidal, or columnar. Combining the number of layers of cells with cell shapes creates 6 classifications of epithelia. Also, there are 2 special types of epithelia. The 6 classifications of epithelia are simple squamous epithelium, stratified squamous epithelium, simple cuboidal epithelium, stratified cuboidal epithelium, simple columnar epithelium, and stratified columnar epithelium. The epithelia that are in red on this slide are common and clinically important. These are simple squamous epithelium, stratified squamous epithelium, and simple columnar epithelium. Those would be the first 3 to definitely memorize and have a really solid understanding of. Then there are the 2 special types of epithelia. They are pseudostratified ciliated columnar epithelium, which is a special type of simple columnar epithelium, and then transitional epithelium, which is a special type of stratified epithelium. Both pseudostratified ciliated columnar epithelium and transitional epithelium are common and clinically important. Okay.